But I mean, if he worded it like that, then maybe I can understand. But I think the reason why we don't want to get married right now is because we got one foot in and one foot in out of the door. Nobody wants to get all in anymore because we have this notion that there's always another option outside. So I'm gonna leave it there because I know.
I got a question for you, Bruiser, before you slide on out. What decision making does the
Oh,
state?
Oh man, here he goes.
Ah, here we go. But what decision making does the state have in your marriage?
What decision does the state have in the marriage?
In your marriage?
Well, when I stated that, I was referring to the premarital agreements. By being able to draft up, you and your wife sit together and draft up everything, all of the clauses, how you want things to be dispersed, child custody, attorney fees, maintenance, or what else I think they call it, alimony and stuff like that. And taking that out of the hands of the person behind the bench.
Wait, all that is the possibility of divorce? Why you got all that in there if you don't think you're ever going to divorce? I'm confused.
Also, you don't need the state for that.
Well, what I'm saying is having total control of it, having some control instead of just allowing a judge to have control of it. Of what happens if you do reach a dissolution or you do come into a divorce.
But Bruce, I thought it was till death do you part, and the guy who just said that is crazy. Like,
so as long as you're within your marriage, the state can't do anything. It's if and only if you have to part ways and break the contract, for which that's when you have to have the state come into play. Even before, like you said, the prenuptial agreement, you don't need the state to create a prenuptial agreement. You just need to you just have to have the ability to stick to what you said. So even if you say, for instance, you and your wife get married and y'all say, we're going to do this in the event of a divorce. Just like you're supposed to hold your vows, you can still hold the terms of the agreement for your prenuptial agreement without the state.
Well, I made a misrepresented the words in a way.
Okay.
And my whole point was just having some protection, being able to choose the outcome. You as a man and a woman in your relationship, being able to make the decisions in case it does fail. And that's why I said either having a premarital agreement or a postmarital agreement.
A premarital agreement, if y'all come up with it together and you say, okay, well, my lawyer got to look over it, your lawyer got to look over it, and we need a judge to look over it, you're essentially literally involving the state.
If you say, like you stated, if you say my lawyer got to look at it and your lawyer got to look at it. So you use the word if in there. So that suggests that you are contesting each other on whether or not you agree with each other. I didn't account for that. The way me and my wife did it, we didn't have to do all that.
And so, Swing, I just want to say this: you got to keep in mind, the second y'all decide to get a divorce, your wife doesn't like you. She's going to be in survival mode.
Okay, so y'all moving
things she can get. So she's not going to be your wife no more the day she's not your wife. She's going to be your enemy.
I'm not disputing any of that. I'm not disputing the phase after the marriage. My whole point was when you get in the marriage, just try to make sure you choose right. And if you really love her, go all the way in. Give it all you got. Try to de-escalate. And if you can't de-escalate, like I said, I'm not the most religious person on the panel. I believe in prayer. I prayed before and it worked. And that's where I get a lot of my confidence from. If I lose any confidence, I'll pray and I'll get a refill of confidence because I've seen him work in my favor whenever I was actually like doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying.
You're right, Bruiser. It's called lean not on your own understanding. So you're absolutely right.
All right. Okay. He get kind of you got kind of somber there. I was like,
I know, right?
No, but I'm just saying that's what I did. That's what I did in my marriage. You know what I'm saying?
That's what marriages should do. That's the order. You should go to God and you should be under the covenant.
But you're right. All that shit gonna go away if it ends. She's gonna have them that look in her eyes.
Stuff, Bruiser.
But that's the risk. That's the risk.
War.
Can I say this?
Hey,
that's the risk I'm willing to take because I look at love as charity. It's something I'm willing to give. It's a sacrifice. Like I said before, every man has to make a sacrifice. You get to choose it. You know what I'm saying? You get to choose it. And this is the one I chose.
Yeah.
I know what the risks are.
Yes, Bruiser, you gonna make me pass that offering plate tonight.
Right. That's why you should
All right, my man Bruiser.
Shout out to Bruiser.
All right, Precious, what you got?
I think it is dangerous to build your house of love with doors and windows. I believe even in the Bible, I believe there's only the grounds of divorce is I think cheating and abuse. And even cheating,
I don't even think abuse.
There are people who are able to work through cheating. Abuse, I would say leave. I would say leave. But even with Bruiser, you ain't right. But even with infidelity, in a marriage, you know, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, like you're supposed to work through those things. And so if you're practicing divorce in your relationships before marriage, it's going to be hard to, practice staying married with someone.
Okay.
So I think it's important to definitely you definitely have to like and love the person that you're with. You have to be honest with yourself about that. You have to be totally honest with yourself about the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, because it's not a decision that you can just make off of a whim because of how they make you feel on a Tuesday.
But we don't we practice crashing a plane every time we get on the plane.
I've never practiced that on a plane. I'm still here and alive and well.
You ain't never.
You practice an emergency exit, not crash.
Emergency exit is what I'm saying. So
they teach you what to do in the case of an emergency.
You know,
but you get what I'm saying, though. So there's a certain
everything the fuck out of me. I was like, well, hold on now. What airline is that?
Spirit. He flies Spirit. That's what that is.
Well, actually, Delta do practice not crashing, but they practice.
No, that's Mr. Let Go Airlines.
No, that's Spirit. All right, Lucki, you didn't go fully yet. What you got on?
I agree with mostly everyone who said, because I looked at it as if there's doors and windows represent you looking out at other opportunities. The door represents you can come and go as you please. That's in the dating process. Once you get married, there's supposed to be no doors and no windows, because now you made the decision. Everything I've seen out of the window is not good for me. This is why I'm in this house in the first place. So if we go into marriage thinking you can come and go as you please, what's the point of marriage?